Hi guys, I am filming a video. It seems like it has been months since I filmed, and I wanted to take a second, get my camera to focus. Here we go. Let's try a manual and just leave that off for a minute. Okay, so it's been a long time and this may be a little awkward and clunky, I guess is the word. So just keep that in mind. I thought I would start with kind of a setup. I've made some changes. I stopped filming probably, I think it was around March. My husband came home from a deployment and it's just been crazy busy, and I've been doing some periscoping and I've gotten back into my Instagram and Facebook game, and I really wanted to get back onto the YouTube. I really enjoy watching planner videos and playing with me's, and I've just realized that there's just not a lot for DIYfish. And there's really not a lot of plan with me's for so much crafting, which are the two inserts that I use along with a couple other things. So I thought that's where we would start. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm hoping to get back into doing plan with me's in the next week or so. But I thought this would be a good start and it would be something quick and easy to do for you guys. And minimal editing. Haha, thumbs up. Okay, so there's my intro, and I will get started in just a second with everything else. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, right when I finished my intro, I realized there were some things that I had forgotten to bring. Okay, so I wanted to start off with what I'm using. Right now I'm using my Filofax Fluoro Pink. I switch these out probably every couple months or every month, just kind of whatever mood I'm in. I'm thinking I'm gonna go to my domino. I have a turquoise domino for summer, mainly because we're gonna be on the go a lot more and there tends to be a lot more water around in the summer, and that's just an easier cleanup. So that's what I'm thinking. Then I also have a new lovely, and this is my Webster's Pages Traveler's Notebook in Walnut. I believe this is the standard size, but as you can see, the standard notebooks, there's still some overhang, and I love that because it gives me room for a pen, and the pen's not hanging out, which is with a traditional Midori, or a Foxy Fix, I would have to figure out a way to get it to hang on there. So I rarely had a pen in my book. This is a book I grab if I know I'm gonna have to take notes. I use this a lot at church for Bible study and Sunday school class. I use it when I'm doing my own reading and Bible study on my own, reading novels, prepping for my challenge class. We homeschool. So this is kind of my go-to book. I usually keep 4 books. One is a brain dump book. The other 2 are, one of them is a plain white, which is where I keep lots of general notes. And then I use a couple different ones for my notes and classes and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to, show you guys that again. And the inside of it looks like this. It has a beautiful rose gold. I actually got some scrapbooking papers out and kind of made some pretties and added an ollie clip for the pockets. I don't use stickers in this, so I didn't really have a lot of stuff to carry in here. So this is what I thought I would do, is just make it pretty and leave it that way. I covered this book in scrapbook paper and my last one in scrapbook paper and covered it with packing tape. These 2 are new books. This one came with the this book, or this cover, and then this is one from Yellow Paper House, which is a huge favorite of mine. And was just trying to fit them in and see how they fit and all that kind of good stuff. But absolutely am loving this. It's beautiful leather. It's very well crafted. I think it's going to be really sturdy. I love having pockets. You have one in the back as well. You could also put a notepad here if you find one that's thin enough. So really love this a lot. So I just kind of wanted to show that. I did do a periscope on it, kind of doing a review. Yeah, I found mine on Amazon, about 35 bucks. Much cheaper than a Midori, and Foxy Fixes are about 50 typically. So it's a little bit of a cheaper option if you're thinking about trying them and you don't want to spend $50 for something you're not sure about. This is a good option, and it's really, really nice, really good quality, very soft. I'm very, very pleased with it. So I just kind of wanted to show that. And then I thought I would start with my personal. So this is my personal. In this book, I use my So Much Crafting inserts. And I also got recently bought some dividers for this book, which I've never used before. And I have notes. Check it out, first time. All my dividers that I have in my possession right now are from Martha Plans. I absolutely love her dividers. They're gorgeous, really good quality, and they just hold up really well. So I've been really, really pleased with them. So in here, what I have is this. I always keep some sticky notes, and I try to do at least one clip. This is from Ladybug on a Pug, and I'm going to show you some things about my clips in just a minute, but I like to have something here for looks. This one's typically for decoration, but as you see, I do use clips as well over here. So I just like to have something there. This is a dashboard that came with my Filofax. This came from my daughter. Got a Webster's Color Crush planner for her birthday in December last year, and I loved this, and she was gonna cut it up. So I took it from her because this is Count Your Blessings, and I love it. These are the dividers I was talking about. I got these from Martha Plans, and I just keep a few sticky notes on the back. These are my kiddos. My oldest is 21 and my youngest just turned 3. So this is all of them. These are stickers from Mare Bear Crafts, and I'm not sure exactly what they're called. They're her holiday stickers, and they're narrow. I think they're meant to go on the Erin Condren at the top where the headers are. And I love using them in here, and I'll show you how I use them in a second. I've used some. I order 2 or 3 sheets at a time and just kind of keep them because I started using this with my Erin Condren, and I only put a couple of those in and didn't use the rest of them, so I wanted to use them in here, but like I was missing Halloween and something else I can't remember. So I bought a couple of these coming on the way. This is one of those Filofax, I don't even really know what they call it. It's just a pocket. It has plastic pockets. These are some papers that I got from Martha Plans. She always sends some extra scraps and some really cute little clips. And I just keep extra samplers in here. I don't do a lot of stickers in here, but every now and then I kind of want to. So I did keep these handy and gets them used up. So do that. Here's another beautiful divider. And some more sticky notes. Now, one of the things that I have coming, I ordered from Planner Kate, are the divider labels that she has. They're really pretty text, and you can customize some, and you can, some that are already made like monthly and weeklies and things like that. So I have those coming, and I do plan on putting those on here. I bought enough, I think, that I could do. I have several divider sets. I don't know if I'll actually be able to put stuff on all of them, but when I use them, I can divide them up and put them in. So in here, I have one at the beginning, and then this is kind of my miscellaneous stuff. These are some scrapbook paper that I found. I cut it apart, and it looks like little Post-it notes, and they're doing really handy. And then my So Much Crafting, I use a month on 2 days. Monday starts, and I absolutely love these. And the kit is from Soda Pop Studio Shop on Etsy. Initially there was some sizing issues because like March, you can see the days of the week here, and then some of them were too big. So what I did, I think April was too big as well. So what I did was I just made a little note, Monday starts, to remind myself. And then I ordered kits through September. So here's June. And as you notice, she told me that they fit like the March and April, where I could see my days of the week, or the February and March like this. But when I put these down, even if I put it all the way to the top, it cut off the top of the words. So I didn't like that. So I decided what I was gonna do is I was just gonna cover it. And then I used one of the flag stickers and put in a Monday start, just to remind myself that this is Monday and the weekends are over here. This kit was absolutely gorgeous. I think this was from the sampler that came with it, as was this. But the rest of it is all a kit. And again, this is my around town take it with me planner. So I don't have a lot of details. This is just general stuff. So if I'm at the dentist office, I know, you know, when my husband's working and when I'm gonna have something going on, and you know, that kind of thing. It's not my planner. That's my A5. So there's that one. This was the July kit, which I thought was absolutely precious. And again, I made a Monday start just to remind myself. And then decorated for the 4th and that kind of stuff. I love this kit. Then this one is Pink Flamingos. Again, August. And I absolutely, again, just make a mark, but absolutely love it. But my favorite kit was September. Is this not beautiful? I absolutely love it. This looks like wood. This one looks like wood. She actually did some holiday stickers, first day of autumn, Grandparents' Day, and Labor Day. I just loved it. And one of the things I wanted to point out is you'll see that with the Soda Pop Studio Shop kits, they have all of the numbers on stickers. And that's really great, but I did not want to take the time to put all of these down. So what I did with them, so that they didn't just completely go to waste, is if there's a sticker, I have a birthday or an anniversary on that day. So that's how I can look at a month and go, oh wait, something's on here. Now, like every normal person in the United States, I have a phone. And on my smartphone is where I keep all my family birthdays and all that kind of stuff. So I know on the 4th of September that I need to look and see there's something there that I need to pay attention to. So that's what I did with that. And that's just been really great. It makes it easy, it keeps the boxes cleaner so I can mark things in when I need to. And then that's all of them that I have so far. So this is what a blank one looks like right here. So with no stickers or anything on it. I use washi to mark things over the week. I love having them decorated, and this is really where I use the stickers. I really don't do much anywhere else, so it's kind of fun to have a little bit of, you know, stickers and a little bit of cuteness in the planner. So that is my monthly setup. Then when you go to the next tab, this is my weekly setup, and I do a lot of different things, but let's go to today, and I'm gonna pull this out so you guys can see. This is this week, and it is Wednesday. So this is the So Much Crafting week on one page with the graph sheet. I use the heck out of this graph sheet. I find that this works really, really well. These stickers are from Libby & Co. I got them a long time ago, but they seemed really small in my A5 and I wasn't using them. And then I thought, you know what, just to do a general weather, I don't even write the temperatures. I just can look here and go, okay, it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow. Oh yeah, we can go to the pool, or, you know, while I'm out and about. I use these, a lot of people ask me about the washi strips. I buy the really thin washi at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, everybody has it. And my kids are color coded. I have 5 children, so my oldest is red, then blue, then green, then pink, then yellow. I myself am a kind of a fuchsia hot pink, my daughter's light pink, and then my husband's gray. So I buy washi, and it's easy to find those colors. And then I can just mark things. So I can put here that my oldest son is gonna be home over the 4-day weekend. So I try to do that. And it keeps it where I don't have to write things down, which is great. Then you have, I just make a list. So I had errands to run. Yesterday was a cleaning day. We have choppers and everything. Of course, I've got 2 kids sick today, so probably won't be going to any of these activities. We have music lessons, a little gym class. I have a meeting for CC, and my husband's working. And I just kind of make notes of what I want to do and what I'm trying to keep up with. And I sometimes will do a couple weeks. So I kind of got on this black and white kick. So I did that. And then here is the Mare Bear Crafts holiday stickers. They fit really nice. They're slick, glossy stickers, so they're really good. This is from Planner Kate. And it allows me to mark, you know, paydays in here and not take up a lot of space. I'll still be able to put the weather there, no problem. And I might have to move the weather over just a little, but it's, you know, keeps it really nice and clean. So I really like that a lot. This is from Ashley Lee Designs, and she made one for I Heart to Plan, and Carrie posted it on Instagram, and I immediately emailed her, Ashley, and asked her if she could do this for me. and she did it. She is creating a new one for me that's going to look exactly the same, but it's going to say weekly at the top because I'm not using dailies in here. So she's making one of those for me right now. It does take a little bit of time for them to get here, but they come punched. The laminate is really good quality, and I just snip the holes and can pull it in and out. I have several of these coming. I think I bought like 4 or 5 so that I could switch them out a little bit more often in my A5, but in my weekly, I'm just got the one. So she's going to make me one. It's going to look a lot like this, but have weekly at the top. So I'm excited about that. That should be coming, I think, next month. So there you go. So there's that. My next section, I came up with this idea. Again, I told you guys I'm a color code queen. So this is for me, my husband, and my oldest son. And this is for my youngest daughter, and I keep their current sizes with me. So what I do is shirts, pants, shorts, coats, shoes, underwear, jammies. I list all the sizes, and then I have a Studio L2E stamp that has the month and the year in a script, and I stamp it. So I've started updating it I just had to start buying summer clothes. So I'll restamp this here, but I update all of the sizes. So if I have to go somewhere by myself, without the kids, I can just go, oh wait, Jack's wearing size 12 shoes now, or his pant size is this. Same thing with Henry, and I haven't done my daughters yet, Lily and Eleanor, but that's going to come as well. So I update those every so often. And here's another section, and this section is my extras section. This is my kids section, and then in here, I keep extra so much crafting inserts. I just keep a couple different kinds. I have the today is, so if I were to have a really crazy busy day, I could stick one of these in there, and then on the back is another day. Then I have a cleaning bucket list, and I posted an Instagram picture of this. I actually used it to kind of plan how I was going to get back on track this week with house cleaning. It's been such a crazy couple months. But you can also just put this. And then another thing is if you get the header stickers for Erin Condren, a lot of shops have those. You can put a sticker up here and change this to a to-do checklist or a odds and ends checklist. So you can use it for something else. It doesn't have to be cleaning. Some people will do it a school checklist. I saw somebody do that, and they'll put the daily tasks for their kids and then things they want completed over the week, and then the kids can check them off. So that's another idea for something. So if you're a homeschooler, that's something else to think about. You just maybe change that to school and go from there. On the menu, I always have one of these in my A5, but I keep an extra in here. And what I have done in the past, if I need this to go to the grocery store, I will washi this and I will punch it twice, once for A5 and once for personal, so it can just go in and out. But when I go to the grocery store, I usually use my Inkwell Press meal planner. So this is kind of keeps it in my planner so that I know, and then if things get added, I can always put them on the back to remember them. But I really just use this so that every day I see what's on the menu, so that if I need to take something out of the freezer or I need to run to the store, I'm keeping that in my sights. I use my Inkwell Press when I go to the store, but I'm not always looking in it, and I'm not always looking at the grocery list every day. So there's times where things can slip through the cracks. So I really want to keep track of that. So there's that. Then I have some get it done checklists, and then I have just some extra paper. This is from Yellow Paper House. I love her paper. It's amazing quality. And one of the things that I did this in my A5, and I'll show you in a minute, but somebody told me that they take all of their blank paper and they slit it so they can move it wherever they're going to use it. And I did it in my A5, and I need to do it in here so that I'm not always having to open my rings and get these things out. Especially when you get to the back, it's really hard to open because there's so much on the side, and it's just a mess. And then there's another divider back here, and this is just the back ends. I tape these two down because, again, they're decoration for me for right now, but I don't want them to fall out. And then here's my fly leaf that came with. Notepad and some Project Life cards in there for notes. Okay, so that is my personal setup. If you have questions or anything specific that I did not cover, let me know in the comments below, and I will be happy to answer your questions or do another video more in depth if that's what I need. But that's my personal. So let me add that to my pile. Okay, my A5. This is my baby. I love, 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 love this planner. And I think I really have got a setup for myself now. Now we just went into summer and just finished homeschooling, so I've got a couple things I'm kind of adjusting for that. And then, so let's just get into it. I think I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. Okay, so here is the front, and I do keep some stickers here and some extra paper. This clip is from Ladybug on a Pug. These are some Ollie clips, and I looked this up the other day, and it's like Rogue or Rouge View Design, something like that. If you look up Audrey Hepburn paper clips, planner clips, there was a little set, and there's one like this, there's one with the sunglasses, which is on my personal planner, and the little sunglasses. And then there was another one where they're like, she's in a nightgown with a sleeping mask. So they're laminated and they're gold clips, and they've held up really well. I've had this for like a year, and obviously I'm not using it a ton, but it holds up really well. And then I always keep some sticky notes back here. And one set of notes that I have, let's see if I can slide these out. These are the sticky notes from Post-it that are full stick. So I always have a couple of these, but these are from Filofax, and they're not a sticky note, but they have the holes punched, so they fit here, and they fit the same in your personal planner. These are incredibly handy. I love these. So I take the pad apart, and I don't put the whole pad in because it takes a lot of room. And it bulks the planner, but I always keep some in here, and I use those all the time. Speaking of which, you know, here's one where I used it to create my labels from Planner Kate. I just keep a lot of little slips in here so that I can do some planning on the go, but I don't do a lot. I usually plan when I'm at home and I'm, you know, set up. So, but these have been handy a couple times when I've been out and about just to add something in. Okay, this is my dashboard, and I just ordered these from Plan, Create, Repeat, and this dashboard actually matches my Martha Plans dividers, but she didn't have one of these in A5, so I got it from Plan, Create, Repeat, and I'm planning on making a list at the bottom, so I'll have all of that below the shops. So here's my flyleaf, and then here's my dashboard. I change up my sticky notes. These are all from Post-it. I just pull a few, but these are my summer notes. These are my kids' school pictures. We do school pictures at the beginning of each year, and here's some more of those little notes from Filofax. And I just keep those in the front, and some more sticky notes from Target. This came out of my A5 inkwell press. I did give that a try at the beginning of the year. It just did not work for me in the horizontal format. So I gave it away, but I had already put my name and stuff and stamped it, so I kept the first couple pages. And I'm just really using them till the end of the year. So I have some goals and important dates, and then how to set goals, which I thought was really interesting, but I'm still working on this. I have not spent a lot of time on it, but I just like the way she goes about setting it up. So I'm hoping that I will learn from it and maybe absorb it through osmosis. Then my divider from Martha Plans. And so this first section is my school section. So I have a sheet in here that is all the things I need to buy for the school year coming up. This is a proposed schedule, for our homeschool group this year. I'm still going through that. And one thing I do with a lot of these is I washi them and snip them so that I can pull them out as I need to for a meeting. This is our Bible study curriculum. We do classical conversations, and we're coming up on cycle 2, so I went ahead and made a copy and put this in. I try to look up the Bible stories in the actual Bible so I can read them the story and not just memorize these facts, but have them hear the whole thing. So I keep that in here. That's my school section. This is my information section, and I put a sticky note here, and I'm working on organizing this, but this is what I've done so far. So this week I've been using this set from Planner Kate. It's intended for Erin Condren, but I'm able to use these flags and some of these little pieces and these boxes and these odds and ends and to-do lists in my planner, and I'll show you how in a minute. So I keep these up here. I'll use these for a couple weeks and then I'll change them out, or I won't have any stickers, but I stuck them here. And then these are the Filofax dividers, and they're numbered 1 through 6. And they're plain, and what I do is, this is my information section. So I use this section to divide up what I'm keeping track of. So in my first section, I have my contents, which I'm just now starting to use these from Fish. And then I have 2 templates. I have an A5 template for punching holes and an A4. And I used my Crocodile, which the holes are a little bit bigger than my 6-hole punch, and makes them a little bigger. And I tested them this week and I was able to punch holes for June and it worked out perfect. It lines them up. It doesn't punch the holes here. So it's really great. And I did clip it so I can pull it out and put it back in. So that's the first number. This number is for my kids. This is medical notes. This little thing here is the summer schedule, which is going to change on June 7th. And I clipped it so I could pull it in and out. And then I keep notes for doctor's appointments and what, like my son Henry developed allergies this year, so we had to try Zyrtec and Allegra and nose drops and all this stuff. And so in October, or I guess it was last year, but this school year, so I had notes when I went to the doctor of what we tried, what had worked. It's on a green piece of Filofax note paper that I had. And I know there's some medical sheets from So Much Crafting. So I'm kind of interested in checking those out too. But I haven't gotten those yet. And this works for right now because it's just the one kid that I'm having to keep up with. In section 3 is my online purchases. This is a lot of purchases. I do a lot of Etsy, but I go in spurts and this has been a spurt month. So I do track these and keep up with those. And this is super handy because then I know if something's shipped or I go back and check it. And so I've really liked these a lot. This is my Bible passage, I guess, I don't know what she calls them, Bible notes on So Much Crafting. I use these as well. I took out my ones I've written on so you guys could see blank pages, but when I read a passage, I note it here, I write my thoughts. If there's a specific prayer, sometimes I kind of extend the notes and maybe put the prayer somewhere else. And what you can do to make it like really stand out is I've sometimes highlighted right here and like I'll write the prayer, but I need this for notes. So I've done that as well. I got a couple of those in here and they're 2-sided. Then here I found these on Yellow Paper House. They are Hobonichi style. I guess they're just notes. I mean, I think that they're intended to be like planner pages, but I'm using these for notes, like just something specific. If I'm having a meeting that I need more note paper for. I don't know if I'll always not mark all this stuff, but the dates I'll mark. And I really thought this was neat. So you fill in the days of the week, you'd fill in which day. Then down here you'd fill in the date and the month. If you keep track of the phases of the moon, you have a spot. And weather, which sometimes is important. And then you can kind of put a title here and it's just graph paper. I keep 3 or 4 sheets of this in here. I have not slit it, but I think I will so that I could, like if I had I have a meeting on Friday, for example, so I could pull this out, make the notes, and then slide it into Friday if I need to keep it there, kind of thing, if that makes sense. So there's that. And then this last one are books that I want to read. And keeping up with that. I've started trying to spend more time reading for just myself, not just school books and not just homeschooling books, but things I want to read as well. And so I keep this here. And again, I got this from So Much Crafting. I did have to trim a little off the top and bottom so that it fit because her stuff is half letter. And I do a lot of half letter, but sometimes I trim it. There you go. Oh, and Yellow Paper House is A5. So there was no trimming involved here. Then this is my small project management pages. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I love these. I use these entirely for my social media. I've recently gotten into social media probably around October of last year, and I have a Periscope account. I have an Instagram. I'm a member of some Facebook groups, DIYfish, So Much Crafting, Planner Fabulous. I'm some Erin Condren, the Go Wild. I'm on that. I love the Erin Condren. I actually use the horizontal for it as a personal journal, but it just didn't work for me as a planner. So I'm a member of a lot of groups, and I do some Facebook posts. I do a lot of Instagram. I do YouTube and Periscope, and those 3 are probably the ones that I'm most into. I also have a Pinterest. I have a KB Chronicles board and a Planner Love or Planner Crush, I can't remember, board. And I have a lot of people who follow those. One of those is just anything I find cool. The other one, it really tends to be DIYfish and so much crafting focused, the KB Chronicles, because that's what I actually use. So anyway, these are my small project management pages. This is a clip from, I wrote it down, Jen, I'm going to say Lagging Designs on Etsy. I probably have 5 or 6 of these. Absolutely love them. They're beautiful. They're hot glued. They stay together really well. But I keep that here. And I'm just going to pull that off so it can show. So I always decorate them a little bit. I edited and added my social media tag on there. And I usually just use some washi. On this side, I use Pop Fizz paper stickers for social media. This is where I brainstorm blogs, video visions, things I want to add, and scope subjects. So I do that. And then here you can add in events that you have going on. So we had an awards night, we had testing, I had training, my daughter had a recital, so we had a lot going on. And then I have my channel and another one of Danny's stickers from Pop Fizz paper for social media notes. I can't remember what it actually says. I think it's events or tasks or something, but I don't use it for that. I just put notes there. So this is what I do here. And then you also have a whole calendar here, which is nice. The way these work, and this is, let's go, is this week? Yes. Okay, so this is this week. Okay guys, sorry, I got stopped, and I'm not sure exactly where I got stopped. So I'm just gonna pick up where I was, and then hopefully that won't be too bad. So here's the week. The squares that are up at the top here are the events. And then the circles are the times where you could possibly get some of your own projects done or not. So on Monday, we had errands for these 4 hours. While I was out with my kids, I wasn't gonna film a video. I think I did shoot some Instagram shots, but typically it's a time I can't do anything. Here I just put a quick list of what's going on this week and the color code that I use for that. So church, classes, music lessons, things like that. I add those in. Tuesday we had nothing going on, but it was a cleaning day. So I think I shot a scope yesterday and I need to mark that. But this is just what I have going on. I make a note when my husband's moonlighting so I know he's not gonna be home. And that's what the full gray square means. And then I just mark the things that I can't do. So when I'm going to music lessons, I'm driving here and here, but I usually get some Instagram done while the kids are actually in their lessons. So I do that. Then here under my projects, I draw in these lines, the horizontal lines, and I divide it up between my blog, Instagram, Periscope. I just recently added Facebook in here and YouTube. And what I do is I mark, this is a daily for the week. So I check them off. So for my blog, I've been working on writing it, and the draft, and then I edit and I post it. So let's say tomorrow I edit, I'm going to put an E in the top row, and then at the bottom I keep track of pictures. And then when I post it, I'll put a P on that date and mark it there. And then my battery is dying. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the longest video ever, people, ever. Okay, so we have a fresh battery, so hopefully this will work. I think we're at like about 30 minutes. Okay, so the I think where I stopped was my projects, and this just kind of gives you a way to see what you're doing each week. I do need to update this. I've done Instagram every single day this week, and it's Wednesday. I just forgot to mark yesterday and today. I did do 2 Periscopes this week, and then on Friday, I always do a Friday flip through. Facebook, I've gotten a little bit into I just basically post my Instagram pics on there too. And then YouTube, today I'm doing my setup. So I'll write that in. I wasn't sure when I was going to get that done. But this is where I keep all of my social media tracking. So I do keep track of a little bit on my actual daily page, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is where I do all my planning. So this has been really useful, having a place to list it all out. When you get these pages, I skipped this week. Actually, I think this week is actually this week, because this was the week my husband came home. Or no, Oh, I don't know. But I think this was actually supposed to be here and not here. So anyway, this is what a blank one looks like. So I draw in my lines and I write. Now I have started typing in the text. I did not do that on these. I just did it on this one. But in June, I did set it up that way. And then I usually just close it so that I'm on the week that I'm at. And then I usually keep a clip like right here so that I can pull it up if I want to. So there's that. I already have printed out June and July. I decorated them. And I start writing ideas. I have started filling in stuff. I have one really busy week, so I did go ahead and fill it in. I drew the horizontal lines. I forgot to put my channel name there. So I just make notes for myself. I'm trying to remember to type like my husband's work schedule, the Father's Day, things like that. And then this is another day where we have Vacation Bible School. So, and I'm teaching this year, so I had to mark those dates and keep up with that. So I have that going on. And then for July, again, I typed in some stuff. I drew in the horizontal lines, added a few stickers, just really, and I've tried to do a little bit more of the typing so I don't have so much to handwrite. So I'll draw my lines in to keep it all separate, but that's what that is. Yeah, so I did July already. And one thing I know somebody's gonna ask me about is the highlight. I try not to do social media on Sundays if at all possible. Sometimes I'll Instagram something, but that's probably the most I'll do. So I keep a remark. That day is for family and church for us, and so I really try not to be doing other things. The social media thing is awesome, and I love the planner community, but sometimes you just have to take a break, and so Sunday is my break day. So that's what I do. So that is that section. The next section is my So Much Crafting month on 2-page list format. And what I do with this is all of my forward planning. So I plan trips, I jot things down. If somebody is telling me something's happening, I have info meetings, I'm planning things, I write them here first. And then I can add them to my monthly calendar for my fish inserts or my daily pages as they're needed. So that's what I use this for. This is forward planning, messy place. My mom flew in and out. My daughter's recital, the kids performed at church. I had a DLO, I had practicum training, my daughter's birthday. It's just a place. My husband was on leave that week. It's just all the places that I can jot it down quick. It can be messy, and I did do plain stickers, but I think I just had time on my hands. I will do the washi, and usually it's just a pen. So I'll star birthdays in here just so that I remember things like that. But that's what I use this for, and I find it incredibly useful. I do a little bit of washi for fun for each month. We're planning a trip to the Lemur Center. My husband's moonlighting on these days. I need to add that in. My son has an orthodontist appointment. I've got Vacation Bible School that week. My husband was going to be on a trip, but it was canceled. Summer activities start this week, so I have a little flag here to remind me. I have found this incredibly useful. This is July. I get in a mode and I'll do all the washi, and then I use these Target one-spot flags for stuff I'm not sure if it's going to change, but then I got to September and I stopped. So I still have a couple more months left. But these have been really handy for that, so I really like that a lot. I've seen people use those for meal planning. I've seen people use those just keeping track of kids' activities, like a place to have all your kids' activities so they're not cluttering up your pages. Details about those activities. So there's a lot of uses for these. And again, these are from So Much Crafting on Etsy, and this is what a blank one looks like. The gray is the weekends, so that's also really helpful to see when your weekends fall. So anyway, that's that. Then my next section is my calendar, and I recently purchased the DIYfish. I think this is 3 years forward planning. This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see, but what I've done is they're very small boxes. So you can really just put like lines or washi or something. You're not gonna be able to write information. But if you were planning a vacation, or you could up here for each month, you could say I have 30 days leave. I'm a military wife, so we keep up with that kind of stuff. And I could mark when my husband was going to take leave for the month, or dentist appointments for the kids, or birthdays. And that's what I have here, are birthdays and training. And each box, and I don't know if I could actually zoom this in or not, but each box has, it's divided little fourths. So like the first line is where I put birthdays, and then out here I had things marked for CC in purple. My son had testing, and that's in blue here. So it's that kind of planning. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep these. I don't know if I like them or not. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out. I love my yearly calendar, which is this right here. And what I did is I edited this and added text. So this column is all birthdays, this column is all anniversaries, and then this column is things I need to add. For example, my cousin's baby was born this year. I have another baby coming in October. These are what I need to start reordering my So Much Crafting and my DIYfish inserts for next year. So I have those here. And then on the yearly, it's a little bit bigger. So I could write in, this was an awards night, this is my DLO. We have testing and training, and we were in Knoxville for a week, and my mom arrives and leaves and things like that, Vacation Bible School. So you have a little bit more room to write. Note sections down here. My husband was deployed at the beginning of the year, so we marked all that. Spring break was marked. I can type in things at the bottom down here. Dentist in this month. I don't know the exact days because my husband took the kids. We have a family vacation scheduled. School starts this week. So I really love these. I'm just not sure if I like the 3-year planning one. I don't know. I just don't know. So this is my month. We're nearing the end, people. We're almost ended, so stay with me. We have my monthly. Now these are DIYfish version 2.2. I also use the guts of 3.2, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but I don't use the monthly for 3.2, which is a horizontal calendar. I use the vertical calendar. I'll explain in a sec. So on the month, I decorate with a little washi, and I type in my goals. I added personal after I typed this, so I'm trying to, be waking up by 6 o'clock in the morning and getting going on some things. I'm doing the KG Planner Savings Challenge, my husband's moonlighting schedule, eating out, cooking at home, Bible reading and devotion, juicing, exercise, activity, and weight loss. I have these great plans, but I don't always check everything off, as you can see. So I'm still working on that. But this setup, as far as what I've added, I really, really like. And then my monthly folds out. It's a vertical, so Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. I do washi for my activities. So green is my son's color. This turquoisey color is when all the kids are doing something together. Purple is for CC. The purple and white is training for me. The orange and white was a trip we went on. I did these are stickers from Libby & Co. for my mom's flights. Now, one thing I did discover this time is on Sweet Kawaii Design, she does a celebrate the day for each month. And she does an itty bitty version and she does a big version. Now, the itty bitty version fits on this calendar. So if you want to put it on the monthly, like Memorial Day and Mother's Day and National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, because of course, why wouldn't you want that to be on your calendar? There's ways to add them if you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but I like this a lot. And then here I put happy wishes, and I put all of birthdays or anniversaries that are occurring in the month, and I type them in before I print them out so that I've got that down and I don't have to try to mark that in here. Then I use, I'll keep this upright, and I'll show you a blank one of these. But here I just divided up May goals, May planning. So when my husband had leave this month, weight loss and measurement. These are from a monthly, who did this? Planet. And I use these for my Erin Condren, and I switched because it covers the Thankful Thought box. And I switched them, and I use one in here for the next month just so I can see what's coming up. That is one of my Sweet Quiet Design stickers, keeping track of my period, all that kind of stuff. These are so much crafting bill sheets and a note sheet from Yellow Paper House that I used this month, and that's how I track my bills each month. So I'll show you a blank one for my July or my June month in just a second. Oh, actually, so here's July setup, and then here's a blank. So what I do is I just fill in my bills that I pay at the first of the month, and then I use the back for the last half of the month, and then I keep it in with the month. So I always have a written copy of anything in case somebody questions or something goes wrong, I can fix it. So I have that there. Okay, so back to here. Now I take washi for each week and kind of do a pattern, as you can see. That way I know which week I'm in, and I keep the weeks and my lesson plans, which I'll show. Okay, I lost some of my footage, and I'm back to finish filming and hopefully get this done in less than 15 minutes. Okay, so where I got to was explaining about my weekly folds. So here's my monthly open back up, and I have, in this particular month, we have 4 weeks. So as you can see, there's a flower washi, a striped yellow flower stripe. And I do that so that it's very easy for me to see where I'm at, if I'm in the first, second, or third week. And I just like to have the color, to be honest. So we are in week 21, and today is Wednesday the 25th. So, I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. So these are my daily pages, and I keep track of lesson planning. Now, if you've watched earlier videos of mine, I used to do my little kids homeschool planning on this page. Then I had the little checklist that's right here, was here. And then I did for my older son. This year's changed just a little bit. I'm teaching the class, my son is in a different class, and then my little kids are in the younger class. So I needed to kind of switch it up. I think I'm gonna use this, I don't know why the sticky note's here, but I'm gonna use this for copying scripture. There's monthly challenges where you copy scripture per day, and I think I'm going to try putting that here, or I'm going to use it for details on this. So for example, I thought we had ballet, which you can see on the monthly calendar, unmarked, but we're actually off for 2 weeks, so I could put a place here to describe that, or I'm going to use it for scripture copy work. I'm not 100% yet what I'm going to do, but we'll see. This is a notes page. And then this is where I use the version 3.2. This is like a week on one page, similar to what I have in my personal planner with So Much Crafting, except there's a weekly chart. It's a little weekly chart right here. So what I do with this is, for my younger kids, summer is going to be a lot slower. We do Bible devotion and reading every day, but math and handwriting and Latin, we're going to kind of sprinkle through the week. So I will write down what we do each day. So if we do the reading lesson 7, I'll write that here, what we read for Bible devotion that day, that kind of thing. So that's how I'm going to use this. This is for extra notes and then to check off what we did. So let's say I focus on math this week. Well, next week maybe I'll do handwriting, or I'll mix it up. Oh, I did math on Tuesday, so today I'm going to do copy work on Thursday, just for that kind of thing. Then for my son, he is going into Challenge B, and I am going to be tutoring Challenge A, so I'm going to have a different class. So I think this page is going to be notes for my Challenge A class that I'm teaching, and then things I need to mark for him here. Now this is what we're doing this summer, and we actually finished math already, so that's done. But so for him, I'm not going to have to actually plan out what I'm teaching, but I'm going to need to take notes of what he does each day. So this will be my teaching, this will be for his notes, and that's what that's going to be. Another note page, my weekly routine. I'm horrible at checking these off. I look at this page every single day, but I never seem to go back and check things off. I don't know why. So yeah, so there's that. And then on Monday, I attempted to start using my Hyperdex again. And I did mark them, I just haven't gone back and colored it in yet. But yeah, so let me see if I can show you a blank. This seems so, I'm sorry if this is just bad. I feel like it's really bad. Okay, so here's Friday, which has not been filled out yet. I stamped in the stars and the hearts, as well as the call, email, text, the social media stamps here, and little things. I added washi tape, and I drew the horizontal lines dividing my section and the vertical line right here. So what I do with this is, anybody I need to call, email, or text, I put here. Social media, I just check it off when I've done it. And usually in the evenings is when I go back and check my SPM inserts and just kind of make sure everything is where it needs to be. And I usually fill in my schedule the night before. This is a journal page or extra notes page, whatever I need it for that particular day. I marked that I have laundry. That's from Planner Kate. This is from Lily Henry. And that's kind of how I use my daily pages. Today, I have this all filled out. We have church this evening. We have karate today. I had a package due today. And then of course I woke up and I have 2 of 4 kids are sick. So I don't know if this is going to happen, and decided I would film while they watched a movie. Yay! So that's kind of what I do here. I fill in my to-do list. I work this through. And then, you know, Thursday, I've got piano lessons. The trash goes out. It's still very, very blank. A lot of this is handwritten. I try, for the most part, everything written in here is in fountain pen. And so I do have thicker paper. I believe it's 32 pound is what I want to say. But it's 100% cotton paper. I love it. Love it. But those are my daily pages, and that's how I use those. So when the week is up, it will close into its own little package. Typically I'll keep the May month. I will take these out next week. I will add June's in and then put July at the back. That's typically how I do it. So I only keep in the daily pages 1 week at a time. In these previous ones, I do, if I had lesson plan pages, I keep those in here with it so that until I pull them out. And then I usually store them in an extra binder. I keep the month for a little while, really just to make sure, in case there's something I need to go back and look at. And then June is the next month, obviously, and we'll go there. My last page is, or my last divider is my notes pages, and these are the pages that I've slit, so I can pull them out very easily and add them wherever I need them. And then this last pouch is just kind of where I keep cards. It's really just kind of decoration. And then my dashboard and a flyleaf. So that's really it. That ends everything about this. And then I tried to film a second video and it didn't work. Oh, I forgot this. My today marker. And then I had a cleaning checklist this week and my on the menu. These are from So Much Crafting and they're personal size, but I washi tape them and punch them so that I can use them in my A5. And that's just really because I like the smaller sheet in there. And then this is just a notes page that I had in there. Okay, so that finishes that. I wanted to really quickly go over a couple things. I had all of these beautiful notes and I forgot to mention them when I was filming earlier. So I want to do that real quick. Dashboards and dividers. I get my dashboards and dividers from Plan, Create, Repeat. And this is a new set. I've got a couple sets from her. They are double-sided and they're awesome. They're A5 and they're beautiful. They're gold foil, if you can see that. Not all of them are, but these were, and I really love them. I have several. I also have some from Princess Paper Plans. This one is a single-sided one, and then this is a double-sided. But they're beautiful patterns, really pretty, and I have a couple of those. I typically do not have a lot of dashboards for my personal size because the dividers tend to act as that, so I don't have those. Now in my dividers are Martha plans. These are double-sided, some are single, and I have these in A5 and in personal. And she has some beautiful, beautiful patterns. So I've been really, really pleased with those as well. I also ordered some from Sarah M Plans, and I haven't gotten those yet. And then I also ordered one from Mommy Day Life Designs, and it's really cool. I'll use this to explain. It's a solid color divider. It's going to be laminated, and this part right here will have a cutout of whatever I want. And so what I did is I ordered a set of dividers for my children, and so it has each of my kids' names cut here, and it's in their color. And I'll show these. I'll probably do a Periscope or something and show these when I get them. But yeah, so I did a set for my kids and my husband, and I have one coming for my A5 and my personal. So in the kids section, they'll actually be, their names will come up now. So I thought that was kind of neat. So I wanted to try those. But you can order them with anything on them that you want. So if you wanted them to say monthly calendar, you know, monthly, daily, weekly, whatever, you can do them that way. My clips. I ordered some new clips from Very Sweet Plans, but I also have two sets from Jen Lagging Designs and Ladybug on a Pug, which are my two very, very favorites. So what I did is I got one of these little clips, or rings, I guess it's a binder ring, and these ribbons are from Martha Plans. They're freebies that you get, the little ones here. But these are from Jen Lagging Designs, and they're gorgeous. They are super sturdy. They have hot glue. I have 5 of them, and I just absolutely love them. They're gorgeous. So I wanted to show you guys those. And then my Ladybug on a Pug, I did the same thing, and I've got tons of these, and I will probably order more. But I like to keep them in the front of my planner, and I just love them. So I just thought this was a cool idea, and I wanted to show you. So I did that. Favorite stickers. The big stickers that I use in So Much Crafting and in my DIYfish are Sweet Kawaii Designs, Itty Bitties, Fit the Monthly, and I like those because I can write in my tasks, and then if I want to add stickers, I can, but I don't have to. Planner Kate has some awesome stickers. I'm getting a big set from her pretty soon, and so I will show those. I typically get let me see if I have one in my planner. The one I use the most from her, yep, I do, is this right here. I usually get this, and I just find I use that a ton. So you get flags, you get dots, you get teardrops, you get little flags, little dots. She has a couple of different little sets. And then another thing, let's see. The other two that I get, and I usually do the Erin Condren colors just because that's the only colors that they're in. But I like these appointments, and then these because I can stamp it right here. Like if it's money related, I can put a $, whatever. So these are the 3 things that I tend to use from Planner Kate every week in my DIYfish. In my personal planner, she has some payday stickers and things that are formatted for the So Much Crafting inserts. So I do use those a lot. Soda Pop Studio Shop is what I do my monthly calendar set kits. So that's where I get these. And then I think, is it next week? Yeah. Here's a Planner Kate sticker. So to explain that. And then the other thing I like to use are Planning Made Perfect. They do have some So Much Crafting kits that are this weekend sticker, this dot, to buy, to do, and the washi I just had that happened to match it, the list for errands on Thursday, those kinds of things. So I do like those kits in here too. Every now and then I will, use those. Boho Berry Papery is a new shop. She has a YouTube blog about bullet journaling, and she is amazing with what she does in her bullet journals. She has hand-drawn stickers and cuts them out to do some of the things that she tracks. And so one of the things I'm interested in trying is her time tracker. It's a horizontal time tracker and it'll be a sticker that's like a long line sticker that I can put on my notes page. And you can mark your times and color them in. It's kind of like the Hyperdex, which is the circular stamp that I got from DIYfish. And sometimes I have time to stamp my weeks, and I have a lot of time to do that. Other times I don't. So I was intrigued by having a matte sticker that I could just, you know, throw down and do it. So that's something that I'll be getting in the next couple weeks, and I'll probably film a little video and review that. So I'm really excited about that. And then page markers. Ashley Lee Designs is the main one that I have. She does today and monthly, and then you can have them with something special put on them. They have different designs. I think I ordered one that had kisses for, like, you know, Valentine's Day, and they had one that had 4-leaf clovers for March, and I think I have some different glitter sparkly ones. I got one for the 4th of July. So just different designs. I also have a penguin for winter, and I think I got 2 glitter sparkles. So I just like to change these out, and like I said, they're really beautiful. They're all foil, they're shiny, they're gorgeous. I love them. So those are the best page markers I found. I have not found any others that I like as much. I use the clips kind of to mark other things, but I like to have a bookmark type thing for my Today planner. And they make these for Erin Condren, Happy Planner, A5 Personal, and then you can also buy them unpunched. So if you are using something like a Franklin Covey, which I've heard their stuff's a little different, you can add that way. And then the last little thing I wanted to mention was YouTube channels. Brenda Kay posted a video on the Fish Facebook page the other day, and a lot of people commented that there's just not a lot of DIYfish plan with me's. You can watch Erin Condren plan with me's and Inkwell Press plan with me's, but there's not a lot for people that use the ring bound planners and are not using those inserts. So, or those planners as inserts. So I'm one of those channels that I do film, you know, plan with me's. I don't always film them in my personal, but I do try to film them in my A5. So a lot with my fish and some so much crafting. But one of the things that I really wanted to mention was I kind of did a research this week, and I was looking at channels that have those. And Brenda Kay, who it was, I think it's her maiden name, Brenda Pleman. I hope I'm saying that right, Brenda. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. But she has some plan with me's testing out fish. Hey Nay is another one. Pinky Paper Doll, Paper and Pink. One Fantastic Find, and my favorite is Carrie Harling, and I actually found her videos first, and that's kind of what turned me on to fish, and that's how I kind of found DIYfish inserts. She doesn't use them exclusively right now. She mixes a lot, but I love her style, and her videos are really great. And if you go back to some of her older ones, she has videos on indexing, videos on the monthly, videos on the weekly, videos on the daily, videos on using them in a traveler's notebook, videos on anything really that you could possibly want to know about it. So there are options out there, just kind of research them. If there's anything that you particularly would like to see me do, or you know, you want to know how to do something, one of my biggest transitions this year when I switched from Erin Condren to DIYfish was I had a ton of stickers and I needed to be able to use them. And I like to purchase stickers every so often. So it was just really important to me to figure out how to make them work. And I think I've come up with a really good way. I'm not overly decorated, too much decoration for me, but I feel like I've found a way to kind of utilize them. And you know, I don't use the whole kits, but you know, like some of these from Planner Kate, I love. And I have kits from Christmas for her and other decorative kits, 4th of July, things like that. And I can still use them. I just have to, you know, think outside the box a little bit. So anyway, I just wanted to finish my video and say hi to you guys again, and hope everybody has a really great week, and let me know if there's anything I can do. Hopefully I will have a plan with me. I don't know if I'll do it this weekend. It may be next week, but I am planning to start doing plan with me's again, so I should have weekly videos. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.